Wife. Relax, it was just dinner with my boss. Me. Cool, this is just divorce papers. Her reaction. Absolutely priceless. I sat at the kitchen island, staring at the text message that had just lit up her phone screen. She'd left it face up while she showered, careless, or maybe she wanted me to see it. The preview read, "Last night was incredible. Can't wait for round 2. My name is Ethan. I'm 34, a graphic designer who works from home, and for the last 7 years I've been married to Claire, the ambitious marketing executive who always said her late nights were just work." I'd believed her. I'd packed her lunches, celebrated her promotions, and swallowed every vague excuse about dinners with clients, team-building retreats, and networking events that somehow always involved her boss, Damien. But that text wasn't vague. It was a gut punch. When she came downstairs in her silk robe, hair still damp, humming some pop song, I slid the phone across the marble toward her. "Damien says last night was incredible," I said, voice flat. "Care to explain?" Her humming stopped instantly. She looked at the screen, then at me, and the color drained from her face so fast I thought she might faint. For a second, genuine panic flickered in her eyes, raw animal fear. Then the mask slipped back on. "Relax, Ethan," she said, forcing a laugh that sounded like breaking glass. "It was just dinner with my boss. You know how he is, flirty with everyone. It doesn't mean anything. Just dinner." The same line she'd fed me for months. The same line I'd swallowed because I loved her, because I trusted her, because I didn't want to be the jealous husband who stifled his wife's career. I nodded slowly like I was considering it. "Okay," I said. "If it was just dinner, then this is just divorce papers." I pulled the thick envelope from my laptop bag and placed it beside her phone. The papers inside were already signed by me, dated, and ready for her signature. I'd spent the last 3 weeks meeting quietly with the best divorce attorney in the city, the one who handled high-profile executives and knew exactly how to protect assets. Claire stared at the envelope like it was a loaded gun. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. No sound came out. "Ethan, you can't be serious." "I'm completely serious," I said. "I've been serious for a while, actually. Ever since I started noticing the hotel charges on our joint card. Ever since your girls' trips aligned perfectly with Damien's conferences. Ever since I hired a private investigator and got photos of you two leaving the Four Seasons at 2 a.m. Her knees buckled. She gripped the counter to stay upright. The confident, untouchable Claire, the woman who commanded boardrooms and negotiated six-figure deals, was unraveling in front of me. You spied on me?" "No," I said. "I protected myself from someone who stopped protecting us." Tears welled in her eyes, but I wasn't sure if they were from guilt or fear of losing the lifestyle I'd helped build. Our house, the vacations, the investments, all tied to my income in our joint accounts. She'd always joked that she married me for my steady heart, but I knew part of her loved the stability I provided while she chased adrenaline with men like Damien. "Please," she whispered. "We can go to counseling. I'll quit working with him." You'll what?" I cut in. "Delete the texts? Block his number? Pretend it never happened? You've had months to choose me, Claire. You didn't." I stood up, walked to the hallway, and grabbed the suitcase I'd packed the night before. Everything important was already moved to the apartment I'd leased downtown. Quietly, efficiently, the way I do everything. She followed me, clutching my arm. "Ethan, I made a mistake. It was stupid, meaningless. You're my home. You're the one I want to grow old with." Her voice cracked on the last word, and for a moment I almost wavered. Almost. Because I remembered the nights I waited up, the birthdays she missed. The way she'd roll her eyes when I asked simple questions like, "How was your day?" I gently removed her hand. "You wanted excitement," I said. "You wanted someone who made you feel alive. Well, now you're free to have that. Without me paying for it." Her face crumpled completely then. Not the pretty crying women do in movies, this was ugly, snotty, desperate. She sank to the floor in the foyer, hugging her knees, sobbing my name over and over. I paused at the door. Part of me wanted to comfort her. 7 years of muscle memory. But the bigger part, the one that had been quietly bleeding for months, felt something colder. Relief. Vindication. "Sign the papers by Friday," I said. "My lawyer will be in touch." "And Claire?" "Tell Damien I said congratulations. He finally gets you all to himself." I stepped outside and closed the door softly behind me. No slamming, no yelling. Just the quiet click of finality. 3 weeks later, the divorce was finalized. She got the furniture in her car. I kept the investments, the retirement accounts, and my dignity. Word travels fast in her corporate circle. Damien dumped her the moment he realized she no longer came with my financial cushion. Last I heard, she'd moved into a tiny studio downtown, taken a lateral job at a smaller firm, and deleted all her social media. Sometimes, late at night, I think about her reaction that morning, the way her world collapsed in seconds when she realized the game was over. The shock. The disbelief. The raw, priceless terror of facing consequences. I don't hate her anymore. Hate takes energy. But every time I walk into my new apartment, minimalist, peaceful mine, I feel the same quiet satisfaction. She thought it was just dinner. I showed her it was just divorce. And her face when the truth hit? Absolutely priceless.